Somebody said to me, hold on, you're talking about men being sensitive and women don't like a man who's sensitive. Depends sensitive towards what? Because the word sensitive could apply to sensitive to others or sensitive in himself. Yeah, I don't think any guy likes a guy, forget a wife, would not like a man sensitive in himself. It's one of the reasons that guys sort of beat each other up when they're buddies. When the guys get together in someone's basement, I don't know if we're different, but it would be awkward if we sat around praising each other. Rather, what we do is go around dunking on each other. Yeah, when we sit down and somebody says, you know, like, how you doing? How's everything? That's fine and good, but that means he's not my really close friend. If he's my really close friend, I expect a dunk of some sort, right? And now I always thought about that. A lot of people thought about that. Why do guys enjoy that? But and there's even a saying in Arab saying, the sign that you truly love someone is the lack of edeb between the two of you. That you don't no longer have the formality of manners. Like, how are you? How's your family? Like, if one of my really close friends started talking like that, you feel like, what's going on with you, man? We're not, right? But rather, this Arab saying says the sign of true love between friends is the lack of this edeb. But I got to the bottom of the psychology, is that many have said that guys, the character of a man is to be strong facing the world, because the world is a place where everyone's in the marketplace for his own benefit, right? So it's what's called, it's shuh, tijara b'shuh, mabniya ala shuh. So it's everyone's trading, everyone's working, and the basis of it is everyone's getting the most that he can for himself, and we agree that that's fine. It's not immoral. Like when you go to work at a dentist's or your business or what have you, you're not going to try to help someone else get a raise rather than you. No, you're trying to get yourself up. Even you know that it's at the expense of your colleague. That's why we're here. And that's acceptable. It's moral and it's fine. As long as you're not cheating and lying. Inside the home, it's the opposite now. Inside your home, if there's a really nice piece of food, you're supposed to offer it to everybody else. So marriage is a contract based on generosity. Whereas the world out there, everyone is vying. And so to strengthen one another for that world, you need constant tapping on your conscience, on your personality, constant little jabs to not be so sensitive so that you'll be better off in the world. And there's a psychology of why guys, they'll wrestle with each other, they'll say stuff, they'll jab at each other, and they love it. Is because it's almost like war dogs, the way they get themselves ready. And it's strengthening each other to what they're going to face in the world. All right. So if you raised a kid and he's a boy who is extremely sensitive, you raise someone who's not ready to be out there in the world. So when we talked about sensitivity, and specifically to the one of the Instagram videos that a lot of people commented on, a man is not expected to be sensitive about himself. He's not expected to be needy about himself. He's expected to be sensitive towards the feelings of others. In particular, the Prophet ﷺ said, the best of you is the best of you to his family, and I'm the best of you to my family. So that means to be sensitive to how your family's feeling. That's what's important. So sensitivity, there's two ways to it. One, we would want to blunt it a little bit and for ourselves not to be so sensitive. But the other antenna, you want it to be sensitive, which is the antenna of seeing how the people of your family feel. Otherwise, you're going to wake up one day and there'll be a revolution against you and a civil war and an atomic bomb has gone off in your home. And that's because of years of insensitivity. And you haven't been sensitive to how people feel. Time passes, they now are grown up and they have the ability to talk and to answer back. And then all of a sudden you don't know what happened to you. Right. And that's like the Arab Spring was like that for the state of the case of nations, where these rulers were completely insensitive to the people, couldn't care less if you're starving or what have you, but very sensitive to themselves. Can't criticize the ruler. He's very sensitive about his position. He knows it's fragile, right? So you can't ever talk about the ruler, but he could care less about the people. Well, how did the people grow up? They didn't really grow up, but technology came in and they all talk to each other now on Facebook. The Arab Spring, the Egyptian Revolution was all on Facebook. They didn't have to meet physically to plot Someone put a message, everyone go out here. And suddenly everyone goes out there. So much so that the Syrians started to get worried about. And one guy was driving, and these guys didn't know stuff. So they started making checkpoints. And one cop, he said, roll down your windows. What do you have here? Do you have a Facebook here? He didn't even know that it's an app, right? Or it's a website. He thought it's a device, right? They all of a sudden everyone knew about Facebook now because that's how the Egyptian Revolution was won, or was even happened. And then when they tried to ban it, they just got VPNs, and they would say, okay, there's a rally going to happen here or there, and the whole organization. Some even have nicknamed it the Facebook Revolution. So in a sense, the people grew up and learned how to communicate with each other. So eventually the people in your home or in your community or company or nation are going to grow up, and your tyranny and your insensitivity is going to backfire in your face. So that's the sensitivity that a person needs to have. And that's not the, so you have to differentiate between sensitivity towards others and sensitivity to himself. If a man is sensitive to himself, take it to Allah subhanahu. Don't take it to any other people. Right. Take it to Allah. If you're upset that my kids, I don't know, this, that, or the other, my wife, this, that, or the other, and maybe you could talk about it. But otherwise, take your issues to Allah. That's the expectation. And I do think there is value in talking and seeking advice, 100%, but not in a needy, moany, whiny way. That's not expected or liked by anybody.